Alright, this is something I'll speak about. It's more of a maybe a guidance on, I guess, insights to getting on the right path, attaining your life goals, one that's really within your soul, I mean, part of your mission in life, God-given mission. Attaining your destiny, that's for your soul, your soulmate maybe, people who are off track, has to do with attaining their money, whatever is meant for them. Now, all of this is given, let's say, money, for example. How does a person make money? It's based on what their mission is as well. It's basically the energy that they're born with, that God gives them, the ability actually, and the capacity. The energy gets created via whatever, to make their money, let's say, or their spirituality, their levels they've attained, who they are as a person, that they give up on themselves in a spiritual way when it comes to that area of their soul, spirituality maybe, and attaining their money. Maybe they didn't know what it meant. Maybe they knew of the feeling. Maybe they just gave it up. So, welcome to a wicked man's world, where they take from your energy and hard worked connections and stuff and try to live off you if you quit. So that's one thing. What I'm gonna get into is, let's say, first I want to start off with if a person's given up anything. That means if there's a position that you gave up, it's taken somehow one way or the other, man. By the right person or the wrong person. Could be a right person that wants to fix up what you did. Maybe it's beneficial to the right person. Just business. Spiritual business. Spiritual politics is what I want to get into. That's good. Spiritual politics is what I'll call it. Let's say a person's given up somehow, right? Now, how do they give up? One, it's a part of their mission that they give up first. Let's say when they're a child, somebody's challenging them. If the person didn't challenge them the wrong way, they'd have probably gotten what was reserved for them had they not quit. So, a lot of the time people are lucky like this. Many of the time, like righteous people, shouldn't quit. Let's say a person gave up on something that meant something to them, right? Let's say maybe a girl that they liked, kindergarten, preschool, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, whatever. They quit. Why? It's somebody who was taller, maybe stronger, maybe looked better, maybe had nicer clothes, maybe he's a rich kid, a good kid, a bad kid, and you gave up. Maybe that area of spirituality that you quit on was what represented marrying the right woman for you later on, would be a real prize to you, a true gift, if you gave up. Maybe it represented the money you could have been energized and motivated, which was rightfully yours, to attain, either motivated through yourself, by God, with other people, whatever. And you quit. Or something meant something to you. Maybe you're in school, there are wrestling championships, basketball championships. Maybe it's a class basketball championship that meant everything to you. Your whole future is what you felt in there, and you gave it all you got. Whether you won or not, you tried your best or not, and it meant that to you for your future, and you've attained it, you can go very far with that made energy. It's your glory. Now, stealing someone's glory is a different area, taking credit, acting like you're someone else, trying to fraudulently speak as if you've attained all these wisdoms and sayings, all by yourself, representing the real king of the country. Oh, it's true. Back to topic. Sorry about that. Basically, let's say you've quit, for an example. So all the negative energies, all the odds, everybody's been against you, let's say, maybe in school, maybe your friends who didn't like that little girl that you were into because it's just not cool amongst, the other kids in school, second, third grade. Maybe they're fools, maybe they're just lackeys following you. Maybe they're just following you, maybe they're following other people, So you quit on her just to have a little pleasure by having your friends and all that stuff. So you don't have such a high level of EQ. Okay. Now you want to fix up. You want to rectify the matter. You missed out on a lot, let's say. You want to get it back. 1, curbing yourself not to commit sins, whether you know them or not. 2, attaining the right guidance from the right people. If there are right people, you go there. If there are no right people, it's a given. You're made. If nobody wants to let you take your position and there are no right people, and you're that hated on because you're that good, God will give it to you. You get it either way. Welcome to life. If you don't got it, you got what it takes, God will give it to you at the right time. Why is it taking so long? Because everybody else ain't ready. You're too big. That's it. So let's say you start standing up for the right things. You stay away from that which feels negative, that which feels lifeless, that which feels, especially when it comes to good people who become lifeless and they stayed good. They gave up all that energy just to get a job done or to maintain something, anything. They're giving all that up just to maintain their position because they don't want to go down their egos. They want to maintain their greatness with the wrong type of lifestyle spiritually. Let's say you want to gain your life back. That life that you feel inside, you'd be like, I'm alive. You say to yourself, you're in a championship. Take a look at the prize. What does that represent? Are you looking at all the other people who look at you as a competition? You're not there to compete. You're just doing your job, let's say. That belt represents the negative worshiping of human beings, worshiping each other, worshiping themselves, being like, whoa, that's a god of arm wrestling, for example. You conquer that title. You beat their asses. You became champion. You broke all that shit. Then they look up to you. But as you're vying for the title and you're going against it, they give you everything they got, even if they're wrong inside. They do things the wrong way. Bad mouthing you, trying to make you feel bad and shit. Then they respect you. Welcome to attaining your life. This is a great example. You're getting your life back. You're doing the right thing. Everybody who's taking advantage of you, all that negativity you're trying to break out of, and you take your first step to do the right thing, and you feel like, holy shit, this is hard. You got your best friend going against you now, bad mouthing. You got people who don't understand shit, but they mean well. They're like, listen, have some respect. It's your friend. Like, yo, he's doing the wrong thing for me. I feel like I'm dead because of him. Okay? Sometimes you really got to explain yourself. Sometimes you got to ignore them. Sometimes you got to look like a fool. LL Cool J said, very wise words. Sometimes you got to look like a fool. He said something like that. You got to look like a fool at times. And when you come out on top, everybody's like, holy smokes, look at you now. You look like a fool at the time because everybody else was just foolish. So when you're attaining your life, expect everybody who's been against you. Be ready for it. Expect it. Expect them to try to stop you. Be ready for them to actually give it all they've got to stop you if they hit the wrong way fully. Because let's say you've gone down and you're fighting for what's right. You're fighting. It sounds like a quote from the song. I am a real American. That's what it sounds like. Hulk Hogan's theme in the WWF. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life. When you're fighting for what's right, when you're fighting for your life, because you're gonna live, you want to live, and other SOBs just start getting in the way. Those are the ones who took advantage of you. It's time to get closure. They're coming at you to stop you because they want you to remain a pushover that maybe you once were or once looked like. So they're all like, because the dream come true. We live off of this guy. He's just a mind. You stare that right in the face. You face yourself. That's all it is you're facing. When you gave up, when you gave up, it's a part of you that they were living, maybe the wrong, most of the time the wrong way. It's part of yourself you're really facing. You want your life? As scary as it might get, as scary as it might feel, sometimes you gotta lay it all on the line. Sometimes you gotta say to yourself, I gotta do this shit. Maybe argue with somebody, a parent maybe, a friend, a wife, just to set the record straight. Could even become life or death, especially if you're trying to become a religious person. Once you try to go for that, everybody looks at you as if it's bye-bye Charlie, you know? Bye-bye Charlie. So, that's where you really get your life back. So, all of your opposition in the past that have stood in your way when you're doing the right thing, doesn't have to even be toward religion anyway. You do the right thing, all these cherries start to try to mess with you physically, let's say, for example, which is a lot of the time, especially when you're in your teen years, growing up, in your mid-20s, 30s maybe. Let's say a guy on the street. Guy's been in jail maybe, a murderer, maybe a rapist, God forbid. He's eyeing you. He's eyeing you like he wants to kill you. He's giving you this look. And your soul is like, dude, you better watch out inside. This is what your soul, the feeling that it's giving you. So you stay sharp and you're ready for this shit. The more worse it gets, the more harder he's coming to hit you. So, why is he coming at you? Because you're standing up for your life. Now, why? Maybe there's some point in your life that maybe you couldn't access a certain position that was for you in life because of others. Maybe it was life or death for you not to take that position that rightfully belonged to you. Unless you take it and live for it. And you're just that. Just a slave. Not good. So let's say that person has that position and he's a bad person, a wicked man. A good person will be like, oh, snap. All right, I did your job. You're ready for it. You're ready for your job. Hey, I'll step aside. Take it, man. Give me what my credit's due, though. Don't turn bad on me. Another thing. Spiritual battles, too. Like, for example, somebody's coming at you. Enemies are coming at you. There's a little saying amongst the high-ranked military of America, for example. Great mentors, not going to mention any names. A saying that went something like this. A person who has not stood up, a person who has no enemies, has not stood up for anything that's worth it in life, in his life. It's a great saying. No matter who you are, another saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Let's say you tried something. Maybe you're 5 years old and you have an older brother, maybe, who's picking on you, beating the shit out of you. So you try your best to finally stop being afraid of him. You stand up for yourself because he's taking your position. That's why you don't feel alive inside. That's where your life is. And you beat the odds. You do your best to train, maybe, just in case he wants to fight with you or slap you around. Or maybe he'll just say, okay, I'll be a human being. I'll step aside. You opened your mouth to me. I don't like you anyway. I'll step aside because you opened your mouth. Or he might try to get violent and not let you get your position. You do your best with your heart, your soul, all that you possess, the right means, and you face him, face on. If he wants to fight, if he wants to hurt you, of course you defend yourself. You might attack him back. You give it all you've got. Even if you got your ass kicked. And you still keep coming at him because it's your position. You've won. He's got nothing on you, and he's not going to want to deal with you again because you've given him everything. The big fight. So, when you take back what's yours, it's kind of like a song, Tupac. He's saying, what song was that? The lyrics say, it's in the beginning, he's just talking, he's saying, you mother effer stole from me. It's my life, I'm taking back what's mine. Same idea. Me going after you, taking back what's yours? Expect the violent opposition, whether it's spiritually, physically. Expect your opposition to come at you with all they've got. Why? Because they've lived off of you and they live off of everyone's failure. They try to make everybody fail, just like them. Let's say somebody makes you feel like a loser. For example, let's say somebody tells you, I'll give you an example. Let's say some moron says, Gabriel, don't be a loser. You happen to be a world heavyweight undefeated arm wrestling champion who's been featured on television, write-ups, radio, stuff like that. You know, happen to be rejected from MMA because you whooped someone's ass in a practice, maybe a good name, and they say, nah, he doesn't want to be a prostitute for the business. Forget it. So somebody says to a made name in a sport, for example, who had to settle for arm wrestling, Gabriel, don't be a loser. That's a true cunt. That's a loser. What does a loser say to you? He tries to put his own loserness, his own failures, right on you. All that negative energy, all that negativity, all that shit inside. He tries to put it on you and look at you as if it's you. So nobody senses this J off, for example. On a personal note. I just had to mention it's kind of funny. So, that's what it's like. When you stand up for what's right and you're the right kind of person, you get your life back, you get your energy back, you get your happiness back, you get your area back, you get your position back. All of your opposition comes at you to argue with you, to make you fight for it. What do they want to do? They just want to make you fight because all their lives, all they're doing is just starting fights with everyone. They want you to be someone they could pick on and pick their battles with. What do? You ignore them like they're nothing. You step away, you ignore them, you walk, you disconnect them. Then you've won. Or a person could take the next low, like an idiot, risk their entire life, maybe with people around, because they'll think somebody will meddle in and stop it. Because you're a disciplined guy, for example, you're not gonna kill him for being stupid. So he might come to you physically, step to you physically, hoping somebody will stop it, knowing maybe it's a area where you're just not gonna, fight, and he's not gonna try to make you fight anyway. So he looks good in front of everybody. That's another thing you break out of by saying something and stepping off of what's right and making him look like a loser, because he's a loser. So the thing that you could end with when you're living your life, you have all these jealous and envious people who have always dreamed of taking your spot, never earned it, or complete losers, come to you to fight physically. Come to you physically, which is the last resort. That's when they're ready to fall and not get back up as a wicked person ever again. This is how they end. They come at you with the biggest taunt. They want to mislead you so that you won't live your life, you won't be someone, be a loser like them who lives off of everybody else and makes it through line and parties with ugly girls and tries to tell you, look at these women. What's the next step? There is no next step. That's the approach they always give you. Look at what I'm doing. What's the next step? That's all they live for, to take what's yours. When you take back your life and you do the right thing, you get your life back by doing the right thing, not by fighting all the time. Unless you have to, unless they come to you to fight with you. That's when you fight. Physically or spiritually with your mouth. Somebody said something about you, ignore it. If you feel inside you have to stand up for it because it's the right thing, stand up for it. Life is not about fighting. Life is about living. The people who try to take your position, your area in life, what's yours, the haters, the people who sprout death from within to the whole world, because they just walk outside and everybody feels like shit. They'll dress up in a suit, they'll look honorable. They wish that you never existed. That's a good reason to ignore them. You don't have to make them look like a loser. They look like losers already. When you pay attention to them, your class, you're paying attention to them. In front of you, they rise to a certain area of degree where you are inside. And to your face, they want to use it against you, cause people to hate you. When you live your life, when you make the right decisions and you decide to stay away from all the people who have caused you death from within, you stay away from them. You start to meet the right people. When you disconnect from them, when you finally cut them out of your life, you cut them off. When it's right to cut them off. Not when you can be acquainted with them for your own benefit. To get in, get what's yours, meaning to grow together, even if it's a wrong kind of person, in an acquaintance, maybe a business partner, who you won't need any longer. Maybe it's somebody who you grow with in life, so that you don't go down. Both of you need it. That's why you're in the same situation, same type of areas. Maybe one might choose wrong, maybe one might choose the right way. Maybe he'll turn against you for becoming a success when the other guy, whose voids you filled with by being on the same page, acquainted, chose failure, chose not to pass his mission in life, his test. When you go towards your mission in life and you want to reach your full potential, expect all the opposition to start to hit you. They're stepping stones, not to be taken seriously, not to be taken lightly, as well as not to be underestimated. As well, not to be approached arrogantly. As great as you got, as strong as you got in life, you maintain the right stance at all times, because there could be many haters. Once you've got your life back, or once you have your life, there will be many haters coming at you. You beat them, stepping stone to yourself. You're the champion. To those who matter, you're their champion. To your kids, you're the champion. To your wife, you're the champion. To real friends, you're the champion. Let's say you've reached all those heights, stepping stones. You've taken on your opposition, and now you're bored. You do whatever you have to do in life, and suddenly you're bored. One, you might be given the choice by God to become bad, play with people the wrong way, by having such a experience and having such a mind already from your development, from your successes. Or you could decide to fight the right fight. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life. Like the lyrics of the song, "And I am a real American." That's what Hulk represented in wrestling, really. They've acted it. Sure. I'm sure they've lived it. I'm sure they lived it at times. I'm sure that man lives it at times. When you live it, that's you, leads you to your full potential. Then you start to realize your fight suddenly can become somebody else's fight because you're all about excelling. You're not a loser. You fight someone else's fight. Maybe someone gave up. Maybe you have to step in because it's right. Fight for what's right. Winner takes it all. Fight till the beginning of the end. Good lyrics. Good lyrics. So, when you're at that point, you fight the right fight because there's nothing else to do. You've done all you have to do for yourself. There's nothing else to do. Many people don't understand you when you're at that point, believe it. They might even call you a loser because you're so down to earth and normal. They think you're just like them. All you've been is a human to them. You've been normal to them. Everyone's treated them with opposition, with violence, and like shit, and look down on them inside and disrespect them, and they feel so much negativity from everybody else, but from you, they already forgot to appreciate your positivity because you have laid no offenses down on them. And a loser wants to take your spot because he thinks you'll just give it to him. Welcome to the world. Are you going to give a loser the opportunity? No. A loser beyond shit will come to you physically and step to your face. A loser who's headed 6 feet under will actually try to get violent, physical with you, with no hopes of anybody purposely, intentionally coming in to stop them so you look like a winner. That's how it is. That's how most of these wicked people are in life. They pose as honorable, righteous people. A lot of righteous people don't even show their shit. They don't show anything that they're about. A lot of fakers wear nice clothes that makes them look holy. Holy clothes. Not nice clothes. Holy clothes that look nice is more like it. Or honorable clothes that look nice. Kind of like Asa used to be. From the Bible. So, when you fight the right fight, living your life, it leads you to your potential. When you've hit pinnacle in your life, not when you're fooling yourself and being not when you're fooling yourself, and you're being an a-hole, and you're saying I reached it just to mislead everybody. No, you know to yourself you reached it, and that's what you're all about, and that's what you're going for. You've reached it. The next step from living your life is doing what's right. In this world, everything is supposed to be viewed for success to living your life, to attaining your life back, and to opposition as a fight. Life is not about fighting. What brings happiness to life? Love. I'm a lover, not a fighter. That's the attitude. When you have nothing else to do, and you're fighting the right fight, the next step to living your life is standing up for what's right, fighting for what's right. By opening your mouth, by talking, by saying things, by busting, catching in the act people who are criminals of spirituality, criminals of the intellect, criminals of the mind, because that's where all this shit stems from. America likes to keep it physical, just like Israel likes to keep it physical. Well, Israel is there for a reason. We guard the spiritual shit. Israel's supposed to enforce the 7 Noahide laws spiritually too. You got all the tools. It's time to make a change. Change you surely know. That's life. That's how the game is to be played. Life is about living, not about fighting. Stay away from people you don't need to appoint yourself with any longer. Stay away from losers. They just bring you harm and fights. It's unnecessary. Reach for the heights. That's what it's all about. Welcome to being accomplished. So the key point is, you're doing what's right, you're fighting for your life, or you're getting your life back, or you're taking what's yours, or your position, you're doing what's right, the opposition comes at you with all they've got. The best they can do, some of the time, they do the right thing and step down. Some of them are smart. They don't take it to you fully, take it out on someone else. When it's what's right for you, that's when you stand up for it. That's when you make a difference. The right way. Examples, lots of examples. Lots of people who were involved with the mob, for example. They wanted to be the right kind of people afterwards. They had all these killers after them. With God, did the right thing, taught the mob a lesson. Nobody plays with people like that anymore. Not only is the mob running, but this dude would run after the mob if they do anything that gets in his way of living his life, the right life, with God freely. Welcome to freedom. Living your life the right way is freedom. Who opposes you? Those who want to take away your freedom. Those who want you to die inside. Those who want to get rid of you and your very existence out of all of creation, all time, infinitely, forevermore. That's where it ends. That's where your opposition comes to play. That's what they're all about. You defeat them when they come at you, no matter how much taunt, no matter how much pull, no matter how much power it is, because it's your life. You don't quit on yourself and accept death. It's your life. When you overcome, when you win the victory, fight till the beginning of the end. Good lyrics. When you finally do, you overcame hard to win barriers. You get what's yours, you get your life, you get your position in life. You can live freely and happy. That's life. This teaching is aimed at the fact what merits and what the Torah speaks about. That says, on that day, he will be one, and his name will be one, where life is finally restored to its place due to the flow of energy going the right place. When you beat your opposition, you beat negative energy. The flow of energy goes the right way in your favor to live life the right way. The enemies who represent death try to take away the flow of energy from flowing right for you, so you fail, to slow you down, so you're not happy, so you're not free, to give you fights, to give you war. Be peaceful, but war for life if you have to. War spiritually. If they come after you physically, if they want to kill you physically, war physically and spiritually. With God as one. Ain od milvado. There's nothing besides God. On that day, He will be one, and His name will be one.